welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I haven't done a pop culture video in a while, so today I will be talking about the famous Korean dance show Street Woman Fighter, but also a little bit about pop culture news, especially a lot of news has been going on in the UK. I'll be talking about, of course, season 2 of Inside, the whole situation with Whitney, Patrice, and fans on social media on TikTok. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. You guys taking that day out of your time to watch this means the world to me. And let's get started. Start off by talking about the whole Whitney Patrice Insider drama. So for those who don't know, Inside is a show that recently got picked up by Netflix, but it was a show on YouTube created by the Sidemen. The Sidemen they're like a group of guys, a group of YouTubers that film a bunch of YouTube video challenges, and they've gotten really famous throughout the years. Like, they're friends, they're in the same circles of Beta Squad. For those who know AMP, they're kind of, I hate comparing them because they're both different in their own way, Sidemen and AMP, but the best way I can describe it is like the similarity of like a group of YouTubers. That's the best way I can describe it. But obviously Sidemen and AMP are completely different type of YouTube groups. So, but if you guys are not really familiar, that's the best way I can describe it in simple form. But obviously both groups are talented in their own ways, right? So they created a show called Inside, and the premise of the show is basically having a bunch of influencers live together in like this underground house for like a week and see how much they're willing to spend on like basic or like things to kind of improve their living situation while they're at this like house underground place, right? It's kind of like Big Brothers, but like you're controlling your spending. So for example, they'll get like you're in a group, so they have like either like a lot of famous people, a lot of influencers, and when you walk in you see a menu of like things like hot shower. The more every 5 minute or every minute you get charged like $500, or you'll get charged for a cup of tea. And you're probably wondering what's the budget for. Well, for this season it was $1 million. So the more people would spend, the more money they would lose, and the goal is to make sure you don't spend as much money, so when whoever wins, whoever's the finalist, they can have the money. The goal is not to spend and keep increasing the money you have, but the max is $1 million. So there were times where contestants would spend like $25,000 on like certain things, or like toys, or like some would spend like once in a blue moon like $200 on like something small simple. Some would spend like every hour on something. But there were ways you can gain money back. Like, they would give you like competitions and tests to gain like your money back. So in this season there was a diverse range of influencers and like celebrities, for my opinion. They had like streamers such as Senna, DDG, Jason, if you guys know, and I feel like a lot of people guys who are Gen Z who like watch streaming know of them. Also they had reality TV show stars like Whitney from Love Island UK. They had George Clark. I'm not really too familiar with his work, which is, I'm not saying that was a bad way, like I need to work on it, but like watching the show, I'm a fan of George. I like him. I don't know why, but I think he seems very funny, very chill and laid back. And they had like a legendary soccer player named Patrice, or Uncle P, they would call him on the show. So the reason why I want to bring up the premise of the show is because Whitney, who is a participant and also who participated in Love Island but is in the show, she have been receiving a lot of backlash due to like her behavior on the show, but specifically something that happened during their reunion. So we're gonna take a look, and then we'll come back and discuss it.
It's a join
because I'm crazy. And no, I love new adventure. This is the second show I did. I did the one before, and I quite enjoyed too. You see, that's what
Why
I
are you
mean.
guys laughing?
You know, because they are too confident. Every time I laugh, even when I'm serious, they're laughing.
Is it?
Especially Whitney.
Wow. Why are you laughing at Uncle P with me? Because his English is amazing. I mean, I understand
Sorry,
it.
I
You know
see.
what?
Your accent is one of the most attractive accents.
Uncle P,
in the
you
world.
speak 6 languages. No one else can say that here. No one else can say that here.
Uncle P is so funny.
So no, anyway, no.
Yeah.
I love adventure,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect that. It was a great experience, and it was quite hard. You remember when I was struggling.
Just to give you an example, the video that we just saw is basically them filming the reunion. So the show has happened, they've had the winners, and then they were brought back to kind of discuss their experience. And this conversation, the host is asking Patrice, or also known as Uncle P in the show. Mind you, he's like a well-known famous soccer player. I think I mentioned that previously. And he's just talking about, like, the question's like, why? Like, you're rich, like, you're famous, you're successful, like, why join a show like this? And he's just talking about, like, I'm a very adventurous person, like, I love doing things that are crazy, like, I love trying new things. And Whitney you could hear her, like, kind of, like, laughing in the background. So the host was like, hey, Whitney, like, why are you laughing? And she said, oh, I just find that his English is very well. Like, he speaks English very well. Due to that, a lot of people were upset. To the point where she's been getting a lot of hate comment and racial slur. So I'm gonna show another article where basically Capital FM just talks about how Whitney had to release a statement due to the backlash she's been receiving. Just specifically how her behavior throughout the show, but specifically this scene that I just showed you with Patrice and the reunion and the host. So I'm just going to quickly read or just show you some parts of the article and we can get started. So the part that we are seeing is this right here. So Capital FM says that Whitney from Love Island UK season 10 was joining season 2 of the Sidemen's Inside show on Netflix. Talks about the background of the show. This is Whitney, as you can see. And then talks about the reunion episode. And in the clip, Uncle P or Patrice is talking about, once again, his experience on the show. And Whitney starts bursting out laughing. And then the host asks him, like, why are you laughing? Basically what I said earlier, right? And she responds, and then from there's been a lot of, like, YouTube videos and, like, stuff and, like, TikTok, such as this right here. So I think you already saw just, like, people reacting to it and everything. And then due to the backlash, Whitney just announced that she's been getting a lot of diabolical, like, stuff in her DM, a lot of racial slurs, a lot of disrespectful stuff. And she shared a lot of screenshots on her Instagram story and posted a statement saying that she would like to take the time to address some of the important things that happened after the air of Inside of Netflix. She was a contestant on the show, where the goal was to win £1 million while navigating the challenges of saving and spending, which is basically the premise of the show I explained earlier. And she said that like she is acknowledged that she's known that she was a very spending person, like she was a spender, and a lot of fans were upset because she didn't show any self-discipline. But primarily a lot of people were upset was because of just like the way she was laughing towards the Uncle P's or Patrice's comment about his experience. So people were like this, you can see on Twitter, saying Whitney Simon Inside is so jarring. Like, how can you be 27 without any self-discipline at all? She says she's received mixed reaction, positive, negative, but she's receiving a lot of racism. And this is the post and everything. This is basically saying, "Don't hate me, I am who I am." It's her and her boyfriend Lockton, who was on the show, how they met. But yeah, this is basically a summary. So yeah, due to how she is on the show and the scene that we just watched, a lot of people saying that like she's being disrespectful towards Patrice because she's laughing at him because he has an accent, because the comment she made. But when Patrice, mind you, he's a world famous known soccer/football player. He speaks 6 languages. That's more than I mentioned that. 6. So obviously, like, okay, like, English is not his first language, but a lot of people were upset because, like, she was making fun. It was a little that she was making fun of how he spoke, and I don't agree with the way that she behaved, and I thought that the way she acted towards him while he's speaking, like, no one, even if you don't mean to laugh, you're not laughing at the person. I think laughing in general while someone is talking is just very something disrespectful to do as a person or as an individual. I think it's like if I were to talk to my friends and one of them is laughing while I'm talking, I would suddenly think something's up. It's very disrespectful, especially someone who is older than you, but also career wise, like, I'm not saying her career is bad, like, she's doing great for herself, but like, it was mentioned in the show, like, and like the interview asked him, like, you're successful, like, why are you on the show? Like, you have millions of dollars, you have millions of followers, you're a well-known soccer player, like, someone who has that much in their career, and like their resume is like flawless. Like, he didn't have to be there, but he chose to because he wanted to explore and try something new. So it's very hard to see that the way she was acting, and like, one thing I will say is that I don't agree with the hateful comment and the racism, racist comment that she's been getting. That's absolutely a no. Like, I do not agree with that at all, one bit. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, I trying to like say, oh, her behavior is like why she should be getting these racist comments. I feel like no matter like how you behave, no one should be getting any racist comments or being said any racial slur. So I don't agree with that, and that's totally disrespectful. But that's my opinion on the whole racist comment situation. No one she should not have been getting any hateful DMs. But I will say that Whitney, like, the behavior was, I think there's a time and place for everyone. And I know there's people who laugh nervously, but I just don't think like it was appropriate. And like the comment you said afterwards, like, oh, your English is so good, like, obviously everyone's good, like, you just can't do that. And like, apparently I was reading somewhere that like she was saying it was an inside joke. I don't know if this is true, allegedly, I have to say that, but I feel like even if it's an inside joke, allegedly, like, there's a time and place for that. Like, if I have an inside joke with someone, I'm not gonna do it like where the camera's being recorded, only you and I will understand it, and like 10 other people plus millions of people won't understand it. Of course, they're gonna think their own version of it. So I do wish, and I think there's people who generally like they can't contain their laughter. Like, I personally don't know Whitney. I don't know if she laughs if she's nervous, because there's some people who laugh when they're nervous. There's some people who laugh when they're uncomfortable. There's some people who laugh, you know, it's like, because laughing is a form of emotion, but I do think it's important that you control and maintain the laughter in certain situations. So that's my take on that. It's a friend that should be getting a lot of hate and disrespectful comments, especially from like soccer football fans, because like they ride so hard for Patrice, but like I can talk about the whole soccer football racism thing. I've been thinking about doing like a fandom culture video on like not just like K-pop stuff, but like sports fandom, and like doing a mini documentary about that. Keyword mini, and we'll see how it goes. Mind you, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, but I would love to explore that, because as some people know, like the whole European soccer football league situation with black players and fandom culture is very racist and very toxic, and I think it's talked about for a little bit and then moved on. Once I don't live in Europe, I don't live in England, but the things I've seen, I feel like it's disgusting. So I would love to do a deep dive into that. It's something you guys want to see, because like I love learning more about fandom culture, but I don't know too much about soccer and football, but I will do my own research if I can. Mind you, I'll do my best. But that's just my take on that. Like, it's interesting seeing like the soccer fans defend him, but not really defend other black players. I mean, I'm not speaking for all, but like majority of them like not defending like black football players or black soccer players. But I could be wrong. They probably have defended him. That's what I've seen from an outsider point of view. But I don't agree with the racist remark and the racist comment. But that's my opinion on that. But with Whitney, the whole laughing while someone's talking, especially someone who's older than you and like may have an accent, that's just no. It was just uncalled for. But that's my opinion on that. I know I was just like yapping all just about this whole situation. But we're gonna get into another section. What we're talking about is this show that I've kind of hinted in my previous video that I'm a huge fan of. which is Street Women Fighter. Street Women Fighter is a dance competition show in South Korea, and it's announced its 3rd season a couple months ago. So the premise of the show is that season 1 was a group of 6 dance teams from Korea, and each dance team specialized in a certain type of like dance genre, and your goal is to compete to be who's the best dance team in Korea. So I've watched season 1. I remember season 1 the team Holy Bang won. Season 2 Baby won. So like there's been a couple seasons. The second season became more global, because the show was already a global show, season 1, because it was so popular, but season 2 became even more global because of the dance crew called Jam Republic. Jam Republic was the first ever international like dance crew to participate in Street Women Fighter, as Kirsten is the leader of the dance crew, or was the leader of the dance crew. The team did really well. They got 2nd place on Street Women Fighter. Kirsten, I've been saying, she is a famous, well-known dancer. She's part of the dance team, the Royal Family. If you guys aren't familiar with the Royal Family, they're like, you've seen either a dance video of them or a performance, because they have performed in so many like big events or big concerts. The one that I can think of, like famous one, is the Rihanna Super Bowl halftime show. Like they were hugely involved in that dance performance. But yeah, they worked closely with Rihanna. A lot of A-list dancers, Lady Gaga. Who else? I feel like I'm forgetting a lot, but they're like the amazing dance crew. So that Kirsten was part of that. She was the leader for Jam Republic, and they did great. This was the first time Mnet, or the name of Mnet is the company that produces Street Women Fighter. This was the first time they were kind of testing having an international group participate in the show, and it did so well to where we're now season 3. Mnet announced that there will be a global competition. Yes, it would take place in South Korea, but they would have countries from different countries such as India, China, Brazil, Ghana, South Africa, USA, Philippines, Japan, like numerous countries. And like as I talked about in my last video, I'm really excited because I feel like all these countries like connect with like the whole dance movement, especially with the whole K-pop dance movement, and like how like that's rising, especially choreographers working like with K-pop idols and like from all over the world. I was really excited to see different genres from different countries kind of shine, and different dancers shine from different countries, until I saw the trailer, or it was a teaser. So then I'm minding my business, and then I go on Instagram one day and I see Mnet uploads like a trailer kind of thing, and I was like, okay, so we're probably getting more information, because the video that I showed you, they announced that the show would come out in May, and after that they would show like Team South Korea like planning their team name. And fun fact, Team Korea's team will contain all the leaders of season 1, so like the very OG dance team. So like all the leaders from the 6 team who participated, all of their leaders, so like 6 leaders or more, would be joining or having an all-star crew. That's important that I mentioned that. So I was like, okay, I'm excited. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be great. And I see like on Instagram, there's like little like dance trailers, but like you see the teams, but you don't see the faces. And the teams that they announced are Team Australia, which it was in the trailer. Team New Zealand. I'm like, that makes sense. It was in the trailer. Team Korea, obviously. Team USA, I'm like, okay, where's the others? And then I see Team Japan and Team Japan again. So I'm like, oh, this is funny. This is not the full team. Like, they're probably going to release more later on, because like it was shown in the trailer. We're going to see Ghana, South Africa, whatever, right? I'm like refreshing my page. I'm like, okay, where's Ghana? Where's South Africa? Where's Brazil? Like, what's going on? And I don't see it. So I'm like, this is the official team. So I go on TikTok and I found out like, okay, there's been leaked pictures of like the team's hub. Like, they're starting to film season 3, and we'll see in a second why they're starting to film. So I'm like, wait, okay, so these are the teams. So why put so many different countries in the trailer but only have 6 teams, but then two of the teams are the same countries. They had Japan twice. The reason why they had two Japanese teams is they had one team representing Tokyo and another team representing Osaka. So they're both like pretty famous cities in Japan. So I'm like, okay, why would they have two cities? Why would they have two separate cities in Japan? Like, why have two Japanese teams? I'm not sure what Mnet is thinking, but what's going on. But another thing that I found out while doing some research is that for Team Australia and Team New Zealand, they separated the royal family. So as I mentioned, Kirsten was part of the royal family dance crew because she was in season 2. It did so well. It was assumed that the royal family would be participating in season 3. And like, as I said, the royal family is like one of the biggest dance crew in the world. And with that, they're like immediate threat because they're like professional, right? So I come to find out that Team New Zealand would be more of the OG or like the newer royal family dance crew members, and then Team AG squad would be like the older royal family dance crew. So it's like the new gen versus the old gen dance crew kind of for royal family. So I don't know if that's gonna add like elements of drama into this, because you're asking the fans having a lot of questions. Why are the royal family teams split up, and why are there two Japanese teams? So I'm excited to see what is coming up. And then that was like released 2 days ago, and yesterday or the day before, I'm on Instagram again, and then I see Mnet Dance uploads a new video, and it's the dance World of K-pop dance like challenge. If for those who know, in the past 2 seasons, of Street Woman Fighter, they have multiple challenges. They have dance battles, but also they have challenges where they will have a dance team. They'll have 2 dance teams versus each other, and they have to dance to a like series of songs by K-pop artists. Like for example, last year, J Republic did a Hybe tribute, so dancing to Hybe artists like BTS song, and then the team they're reversing, they also had to dance to it, the same song, the same like remix, and the teams could incorporate or throw in choreography to kind of like either that the other team had to copy, and either it would be very challenging for the other team or very easy. And after that, that's the whole point of the challenge, is to kind of incorporate your dance into the K-pop melody, and then make a challenging move or make a dance move that the other team has to follow and perform live in front of audience. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, yeah, they're definitely filming. But with that challenge, usually that's when elimination starts. From the past seasons, they have the teams do that, and then this is where voting and like views are really important. And I was watching it, and so far all teams have been uploaded. The first team was AG Squad, the Royal Family, Motive, which is the Team USA, Osaka Ojo Gang, and then like South Korea, and then RHT Tokyo. Their video has been uploaded, so we're gonna take a look into them. Once again, before I start, I am not a professional dancer. I like to dance for fun from time to time, but I love this show. I'll talk about some other things about Mnet and Street Woman Fighter, but the show is very entertaining, especially last season, seeing how the teams work, the process behind the teams preparing, especially just seeing Mnet represent. So I'm really excited to see what the season holds. So I'm gonna watch each show, or each country, the performance, to see how it's done. So we're going to start with Team South Korea. Like, I've seen it. Honestly, I think compared to the South Korean team, this is giving choreography. My opinion. Once again, my opinion. My opinion. Take it once again, I am not a professional dancer. This is what I'm getting from the things that I like and the vibe. So yeah.